Hi there, everyone. Welcome to another edition of The Night Sky This Week. I'm your host, Andrew Fazekas, here on October 31st, 2022. It's, of course, Halloween. Happy Halloween to all my friends around the world, wherever you're watching. If you celebrate, of course, tonight is the night where trick-or-treaters go out and see spooky spectacles, and there's some in the night sky as well, and we'll talk about this week. There's some interesting things coming up later this week as well. Why don't we jump right into what the skies have to offer? By the way, comment section, I for some reason there's a technical problem I'm having. I can't see comments. I'll have to see them after the show, so if you want to post whatever you like to post, I'll check it out after the show, so just keep them going there. Without further ado, let's take a look at the sky. There we are. We've got the night sky set up for October 31st, Monday evening, just after sunset. This is set for around Montreal, New York, Toronto, Rome, Tokyo, that area of the world. But wherever you are, this is something that you can see in basically at different altitudes and different orientations, but all the objects that you're seeing in the sky are going to be huddled together pretty much the same way. So what you're seeing tonight in the south is, of course, the quarter moon right there. That's the first quarter moon. Of course, we had an eclipse on the 25th of October where we had new moon. So where the moon disk is growing larger, so you'll see more and more of the disk being illuminated. And what's really cool is that you'll see that the moon is joined not too far off to its side by Saturn. The planet Saturn is visible very easily. And then also, if we make it a little darker, you'll see Jupiter is there as well. That's the largest planet in the solar system, and that is in the constellation Pisces, the fishes. Now, what's interesting also, of course, being Halloween, there's some interesting kind of mythological characters in the sky as well. One of them is Cetus, the monster whale. The sea monster, Cetus, is just below Pisces. So if you're finding Jupiter, which is the brightest star-like object tonight, way off to the far left of the moon, right underneath Jupiter, closer to the horizon in the east, is Cetus, the monster whale. And Cetus is an interesting constellation because it's associated with this mythology of wanting to devour the princess Andromeda, and was actually defeated, the Cetus whale was, by Perseus, the young warrior. And here you can see where Cetus is located. It's not a very bright constellation. It's best seen probably October through January. As I said, it's just south of Pisces and is just east of Aquarius. You can see Aquarius right there. It occupies basically a large part of the sky that's really represented by water constellations. It's a water region of the sky. You can see Aquarius with its water. Then there's the fishes, Pisces as well. That's associated with water. And of course, as is the sea monster. Now, today, Cetus is really represented by this mythological character of a whale. However, if we go back into ancient mythology, a myth that's, of course, as I mentioned, like Cepheus, Cassiopeia, the king and queen of Ethiopia, Andromeda, their princess daughter, and then Perseus, the young mythological hero and lover of Andromeda. Cetus is described as basically as a giant sea monster. And that's where that is. And Perseus actually killed Cetus and saved Andromeda in ancient Greek mythology. So it's a really interesting thing. And there's a notable star in Cetus. It's the fourth largest constellation, by the way. And its brightest star, Alpha Ceti, is traditionally named Menkar, and it's derived from the Arabic word meaning nostril. And it's a red giant star about 200 light years away. And you can kind of see, let me see where it's at. There it is, Menkar. It's the tip of the snout of the sea monster. So it's 200 light years away, and it is a red giant star. You can see this just to the lower left of Jupiter. And the other one is Beta Ceti, or Difda. It's also Difda, Diphda. It's a 2-magnitude star, and it's the second brightest in the constellation. And its name basically means the whale's tail. That's Difda. That's what that means. And like many other naked eye stars, this one is a dying giant star. And it shines about 145 times brighter than our sun. It's quite bright, and it's about 17 times wider than our sun. This star that I have right here, notably marked in the Cetus the whale's tail, right underneath Jupiter. That's where you'll find it tonight on Halloween night. And it's a star that's located about 96 light years away, this giant star. So check that out. Menkar, which is the tip of the nose right here, and Difda, the other star at the other end of the whale. Again, this is below Jupiter. So something really cool to see as well in the sky is another constellation, another mythical monster that's visible, and that is Draco, the dragon. Right here, you can see it's kind of winds its way in the northern sky. Those of us in the northern hemisphere can really see Draco very well. The head of the dragon is marked by these 4 stars right here, and we're very close to Vega. You can see here Vega in, where am I here? In the northwestern sky. And you can see it kind of winds its way close to the North Star. So if you can look towards the north and you find the Big Dipper, right there, you can see near the horizon, and then draw an imaginary line from the last 2 stars of the bowl of the Big Dipper up in the sky, and until you hit the next star. The next brightest star is from those 2 at the end of the tip of the bowl is going to be the North Star, also called Polaris. And if you kind of draw a line, these are now faint stars. You got to have maybe binoculars if you have too much light pollution. If you're in a bright suburban sky, you can mark out the Little Dipper. There's the bowl of the Little Dipper, and there's the North Star. But a great guiding post to actually finding the dragon is looking between the two bright stars, Polaris, the North Star, and Vega, right above it. So this is all in the northwestern part of the sky tonight, and any night this week would be great to see. But of course, today is Halloween, so if you're watching this broadcast, it's kind of fun to point out Draco the dragon in the sky between Polaris, the North Star, and Vega, the bright star high in the northwestern sky. You can't miss it. So draw an imaginary line between these 2, and right in between that, those stars that you'll find, you can mark out Draco the dragon right there. Another ancient constellation, lots of mythology attached to it, and I'll post some star charts with this after the show so you can see that. So whether you're watching on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or Twitch, YouTube, this is a place that you can actually get some more information from my sky charts of these things. So as I said, we're going to go back to the moon now, see where it's set up. This is Monday night. And if we go to Tuesday, let's take a look at how the moon travels through the sky. And it's going to pair up with Saturn on Tuesday, November 1st. So we're kicking off November with this really beautiful pairing of the waxing gibbous moon, because we're past quarter. That's Monday 31st, it's quarter, and then on the Tuesday it's past quarter. You can see it's a little bit more of the moon is visible of that disk, and it's going to be right next to beautiful Saturn. Remember, if you have a telescope, binoculars won't do it, but just not enough magnification, but a telescope will show you the rings, and this is what you'll see through the little telescope. On higher magnification, you can get more views of the ringed world. It's just fantastic. So check that out. With the naked eye, it's that bright yellow star-like object. Amazing to think it's 1.2 billion kilometers away. The planet Saturn, that's so far away, it takes light 80 minutes to reach your eye from Saturn. 80 minutes of travel time for light for a beam of light from Saturn. Incredible. You're looking back in time 80 minutes when you're seeing that. So again, that's November 1st, Tuesday. Wednesday, the moon is kind of in the middle between Jupiter and Saturn. You'll see that it's traveling towards Jupiter, the moon is, over the course of the next few days. So that's Wednesday, November 2nd, November 3rd, November 4th, Friday, even more beautiful than the Saturn pairing on the 1st. This one is gorgeous. Mark this down on your calendar. Friday, November 4th, the moon and Jupiter pairing together makes for a great photo op. I'd love to see photos from you guys, so do share that if you can. And together they are going to be just fantastic. Just take a look at that pairing. It is a beauty. So watch for that on Friday, November 4th. Now, November 5th, 6th, and 7th, by the 7th, the moon is going to be full moon the night of the 7th, and it'll be next to, you guessed it, Uranus, the green giant. Amazing. So this is going to be Monday, November 7th. And of course, what the big news is, not just that this pairing between Uranus and the moon, Uranus is going to be hard to see unless you have a telescope because of the glare of the bright moon. However, it is going to be a total lunar eclipse, a blood moon, as it's popularly now known in the media. A total eclipse of the moon where it turns orange-red in color as it goes through the shadow of Earth. Now, let me show you online. I'm going to bring up, if I can, let me see if I can bring this up here. Let me see, where is it? Where is it? There it is. So check this out. This is the moon. These are my friends at timeanddate.com. Highly recommend this website. They are fantastic. They're like I would say probably the experts in timing of eclipses when people, the general public, should be going out to see things. I'll post a link to this right into the chat after the show, so just stick with me. And so we're a week away out from this beautiful event. It's a lunar eclipse. Again, this is when the moon's disk travels through the atmosphere, not through the atmosphere, through the shadow of our planet. Here you can see the outer shadow. There's a very slight darkening, but this is what we call the umbral shadow of the Earth. And the moon will travel through that shadow. Okay, and you can see it's going to cover that, and slowly over the course of over an hour and a half, it's going to cover it, and it's going to turn this orange-red color. Where is this visible in the world? Well, anywhere where you're orange, you'll see it from the beginning to the end. It's about a 3-hour event. So folks in right across the western part of North America are perfectly positioned to see the entire show, as are folks in across Russia, Japan as well, are going to be able to see this, and parts of the Pacific, South Pacific as well. New Zealand is in great position to see this full event. Now, if you're anywhere where it's not quite orange, but sort of purple, you get to see a partial part of the event, either the first half or the second half of the event before daylight hits you. So in terms of timing for the lunar eclipse, I would recommend is partial eclipse. That begins in UTC times, universal time. You'll have to calculate that out for yourself of how that works for wherever you are in the world. For me here in Montreal, it comes out there at 4:09 a.m. in the morning is when the first little bite out of the moon is visible. That's 9:09 universal time. Full eclipse begins November 8th at 10:16 universal time. That's 5:16 a.m. Eastern time. And then maximum eclipse, where you see the full orange-red effect of the lunar eclipse, will happen just before 11 a.m. on November 8th universal time. That's just before 6 a.m., 5:59 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for those on the east coast of North America. So just as it brightens, as the sun is rising, in the east, the moon will be setting in the west. So you're looking towards the west for this whole entire action. So really cool. Highly recommend this. And of course, you don't need a telescope or binoculars to see this event. It's something that's visible to the naked eye. Just find a clear spot looking towards the west. If particularly as the moon is setting, you want to be able to see it. Great photo op as well. Get your phones out. Your smartphones will be able to take amazing photographs of this. I'd love to share what you do. I'll be trying to take some photos as well, if hopefully I'll get some clear skies. And remember what's happening is this the sun, earth, and moon in perfect alignment. That's what's happening, and the earth's shadow is cast on the moon. I'll have more information later in the week about that, so stay tuned. Whew, lots of things in the sky. I hope you're going to have some fun on Halloween. Hope you get to see some of these amazing moon pairings with planets as well, and find some of these cool constellations. If you're interested to find out more about stargazing, I've got a new book out. It's called A Stargazer's Atlas. Highly recommended because it's chock filled with everything you need in terms of observing the night sky, maps for both north and southern hemisphere, all 88 constellations, stargazing tours, specific tours, star hopping techniques described, also great stuff about mythology, great stuff about archaeoastronomy, ancient cultures attached to what they've done in terms of building observatories and temples related to astronomy thousands of years ago. Some really cool stuff there. Also, astrotourism today. We can go to space. Some of us who have the bucks can become Buck Rogers, right? We talk about that. And also going to dark sky preserves around the world where there is the night sky that's preserved because it's just wonderful, far away from light pollution areas. So highly recommend it. If you're interested in that, check that out. I've also got my backyard guide to the night sky. Great companion. This is the one that fits into your backpack. The Stargazing Atlas is 6.5 pounds. That's a coffee table. Makes a great present as well. But Backyard Guide to Night Sky is your practical guide that you can take with you outdoors because it's small and very compact and travel friendly. So with that, I want to thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're going to have some good sky watching experience this week. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it with your friends and family and subscribe to my channel. That means a lot to me for you to support me that way by subscribing, whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or Twitter. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I wish all of you clear skies. Bye-bye.